Hello all! So today is an update on my project of polish decluttering where I wear every single polish I own. So far it took me 6 months. I am close to being through all of my nail polishes that I own, and really the whole point was just to keep only the things I really enjoy. And I do enjoy decluttering and minimizing, tightening things up, trimming the fat, so to say, in my makeup, polishes, skincare, whatever. I do not have any regrets getting rid of things. However, when it comes to nail polishes, my problem is color is not everything. Meaning that for me to really enjoy a nail polish, it needs to really perform super well on my nails. But if we're going by color only, there were a few of them that I was like, oh, okay, that looks amazing. I'm so glad I wore it before I, chopped it. Versus sometimes you just have a really great color, but you know you're not going to wear it because it just chips or doesn't wear well or doesn't sit great against your skin tone. That's also a possibility. So really wearing polishes is, to me, the only effective way to declutter them. I think if you know a brand and you know a formula and you sort of have an idea of how that formula performs, maybe it's easier to declutter based on color only, but for me, it's just not how it works. Texture, you can't really tell all those things. Texture, shimmer, how shimmer comes through, how the nail polish wears, how the tips look after a couple of weeks. Like, you can't tell any of that just by looking at the color. So therefore, what I do is I wear all of the polishes and then I declutter the ones that I didn't particularly enjoy wearing. And now that my untried or undecided pile of polishes has been dwindling down by a lot, I really don't have duds. And so far, little spoiler, this is my current nail wheel and I'm not decluttering anything so far from it. So it's getting tougher. Polishes are getting better because I liked picking out things. I'm like, oh, I'm not sure about this one. Now, almost everything I have is what I'm sure about, but I'm still going to complete it and finish and totally wear every single polish I own. This wheel is done. That was like my spring to summer transitional wheel. And I think it's reasonable to start with this guy over here. This is China Glazes Fa La Ah. It's a shimmer. It's a really pretty shimmer, purple polish with gold reflex, and there's some orange undertones there in the extreme angles. It's a very beautiful polish, and it looked great. It looked great over other polishes as well. It looks fantastic over a darker polish. So I was very happy with it, and China Glaze is one of the formulas that I do enjoy. Funny enough, I decluttered a ton of luxury polishes, Zoyas, but I'm keeping most of my SEs, or a lot of my SEs, China Glazes and OPIs. Those are the formulas that wear the best on me and I enjoy the best in terms of application. So I pretty much determined what kind of polishes I do like to buy out of the mainstream. Those are the 3 brands that I really go for, and others just don't hold on as well onto my nails. And I do like also getting some indie polishes because A, supporting a small business is always a great idea, and B, they're more experimental. They come out with cooler stuff. So I do enjoy that. So this Fa La Ah by China Glaze is definitely going to be a keeper, and a really good one at that. I think a total standout. You look at it and you know it's special. And just as I'm finished talking about polishes that I like and the formulas that I like, I'm pulling on this SE that I'm actually letting go of. Again, this is not a formula problem. For me, SE works super well on my particular nails. It's a question of your nail chemistry as well. But this color, although I thought would be really good to have, and this is SE's without a stitch, I thought it would be a great neutral, really nice, cool gray with a little bit of taupe to it, because I know grays aren't working out that great against my skin tone normally. So I thought, okay, a drop of taupe in here really is going to make a difference, is going to make it wearable for me, and it is a beautiful polish. Unfortunately, it did not jive all that well on my skin tone, so this is actually going to be one that I let go of. just I did not enjoy what it looked like. It's simply a question of a color selection, and I like the color, just not on my hands. So unfortunately, this guy is not going to make it. It's going to be decluttered and we'll find a better home. Now, a polish that I really love and have worn for a while is this OPI. It is one of those reds with a pink undertone, mid-tone red with a pink undertone. Looks pretty pink actually in the bottle. Reads as a red on the nails and does remind me of Fire and Ice by Revlon. I used to wear that a couple of years ago in one of my project polishes. I had that Revlon polish, and I have to say this is kind of similar but better in terms of formula. Also kind of matches my lipstick today. So this is a great formula. It lasts very well, and the shade is called Koala Berry. I do like my reds, I do like my dark saturated fuchsias and pinks on my nails, and they always look very flattering against my skin tone. So this guy is definitely going to stay. Next we have an indie and we have a gray, and I just got done telling you guys how grays don't usually look good against my skin tone, and I do stand by that statement, but I simply could not pass up this guy. And I do have a feeling that in those dreary fall to winter transitional evenings, I will definitely reach for it and enjoy it. This is Polished for Days in Tahoe. It's a 2019 charity polish according to the label, and it is Leaping Bunny certified. It's a really interesting color, and I would not have kept it if it didn't have something special about it. And it's one of the very few blue grays that I have at all left over from, you know, my decluttering days. And it's staying because it has these magical looking, very beautiful flecks. And the flecks are multi-chrome. They are rather on the large side, but still not difficult to remove. I don't really wear glitters that are super hard to remove because I just personally don't have the patience for it. But these guys are burnt orange, gold, shifting pink. So this is a really cool special color, and the texture makes it super interesting on the nail wheel, on the nail. And again, from far away, this is not the best in terms of being flattering against my skin tone, but I don't particularly care this time around just because the color is so cool. It's a really great color with really great texture to it, so a keeper, and I will be continuing to use it. So decluttering is obviously getting more and more difficult. On my nail polish rack, I did have a lot of purples. I love purple nail polish, but purple, and especially dusty purple or pastel purple, is really difficult to get to be super flattering on my undertone, meaning that most of them are going to feel flattering, but they're not going to be perfect. And I'm really looking for perfection, for perfect shades. So this one is going to be decluttered. I actually really enjoy the formula. This is a new formula, Treat, Love, and Color. And theoretically, this does not require a base coat and acts as a treatment polish as well. And it says Strengthener Cream number 29 Daytime Dreamer. This is on the more pigmented side of this lineup, and I've experienced a few of them. This is a little bit more pigmented. It is a creamy grayed out purple, which is a really nice color. I just happen to have had a couple of those pinky purples that I just liked more. So another SC declutter, not because I dislike it, but just because I'm more likely to reach for something else. Excellent formula. I really enjoyed it. It's a little bit sheer, so if you don't like sheer formulas, then it's not for you. But this is on the more pigmented side of things. I do have another one. So they do have a couple of different formulas here. This one is a cream formula, 29 Day Dreamer, the one I'm decluttering. And I also have a super sheer one on here. And this is 15 Minimally Modest. This one I enjoyed and love, and you can see I've been using a ton. So I think if you like sheer polishes, this is a really good formula, but they do also have cream options that if you like a more opaque polish, you might enjoy a lot as well. So unfortunately, Daytime Dreamer is leaving my polish rack, and it's going to find a better home somewhere else where it's going to be more appreciated. Next, we have another SC declutter. Again, not because of the formula, because Essie's formula is one of my favorites, but specifically because of the color. And if you pay attention over here, we have very, very similar colors, which I prefer against my skin tone to the one that we're going to declutter. And this particular one is Essie's Baguette Me Not. Again, this is slightly on the cooler, more purple side, and it's very beautiful, and I would absolutely wear it if I didn't have these that I'm going to keep. We're going to talk about them in a second, but it's just a question of finding that purple undertone that is perfect. And I have better matches for my skin tone. So this Essie guy is going to be decluttered, and I'm sure it'll bring somebody else much more pleasure than for me to have kept it on my rack and not used it very much. Next one is a metallic little number, which I was not at all sure was going to be my jam. And it is this OPI formula, 5 and 10. I believe it was Breakfast at Tiffany's collection. Has been out for a while. And so I was not entirely sure that a silver is going to be up my alley. However, this is a warm silver. Has a lot of... It does have a lot of those little particles that catch the light and reflect, so it does have a little bit of a textured look to it, but it's smooth. It's not textured and it's not difficult to remove. Again, if polish is difficult to remove, it's probably not going to be sticking around for too long. But here there's like a little hint of blush almost in that silver, which is what sold me on it and which is what made me want to hold on to it. It's an interesting play on that color, and it actually looks rather flattering against my skin tone. And I think this is the kind of shade of silver, which is silver, I think is a little bit difficult to wear. You have to have a specific undertone of silver to match your skin tone well, and since it's a difficult to wear shade, it's hard to find one that is going to make your hands look more beautiful, because a cold metallic silver or a mirror finish silver might not look as flattering on rigid nails, which is what I have. This, since it scatters the light a little bit and has this slight blushy undertone, really worked for me, and so this is probably going to be my designated metallic color. Don't have a lot of those hanging around at all. I think this might be the only one. Then we have a few pinks and purples coming up, and those are the ones I've kept. The next three are like purpley pinks or pinky purples, and they're all in the pastel family. And that's why I decluttered the other ones that we just talked about, because I did keep these. So first and foremost, I kept this. I mean, they probably all look very similar on camera, and they are in fact very similar in real life as well. This is reminiscent of the Baguette Me Not one I decluttered, but it's just a touch warmer. It's all coming down to the undertone. The undertone is just a touch warmer, and so it's just that much more flattering. Little baby pink number with a slight gray added to it, and it is Go Ginza by Essie again. Super good formula for me, for my liking, and wears really, really well. The formula, of course, is the Essie formula, which I do enjoy, and the color is just delightful. It's a delightful light pink that looks really, really nice against my skin tone. And I'm very neutral, so if you're quite neutral, a neutral color like this, not too cool, not too warm, is going to be probably something that is going to be looking good on you. If you are warmer, go for something a little bit more pink. If you're cooler, go for something a little bit more grayed out or purple. As you can see, you know, these are, we're splitting hairs here, but on my particular skin tone, slightly warmer shade like this is going to do better. So Go Ginza is going to be staying, and I am excited to continue wearing it as a baby pink. Next up is a lighter version of this baby pink, basically. And I still might at some point get rid of it, but really for right now, I feel like I want to keep it, because between Go Ginza and the one that I'm going to tell you about, I mean, they're very similar. Go Ginza is a little bit darker. This one's a little bit lighter. They do both have this same undertone. So I just could not decide to get rid of it, and I might still in the future, but for now I do want to wear both of them. And this one is an SC as well, and it's called French Affair. I've had this color before. This is not my first bottle of this particular color. Previously, I think I lost a bottle. I didn't finish it off or anything, but I did lose it and I did repurchase it. So I did like it enough to go that far, which I don't do for a lot of polishes. And this is just a nice milkier baby pink, very delicate, very bridal. And I think I can't get rid of it. I don't know why, but I did like how it looked. And again, these are so gosh darn close. I don't see why anybody would need both, but I'm keeping both. Sorry, guys. And then we have a true pastel purple. So this is different from the pinks. As you can see, it's a different color. It's still pastel, but it's a cool color. I mean, cool as in temperature-wise. So I decided that it is a good color for me, and especially I did enjoy it on toes. On my fingers, I wasn't thrilled with it because it was just a little too cool to look super flattering, but there's something about it on the toes that I really, really enjoyed. So I will keep it, and this is Lilacism by Essie. I do enjoy the undertone, and I think it's very, very pretty, and I wear clothes this color sometimes. And I think this is a flattering color on anyone. It has this sort of glowing quality to it. It kind of glows off the nail, not because it's shimmery or glowy, but just because of this pastel quality and just tan skin. If you're ever tanning or you are of a medium to darker skin tone, this color would probably be kick-ass on you. It would probably look really, really great. For me, it's not the most flattering shade, but on toes, I just think it's the most adorable pedicure ever, so I will keep this one. Moving on to a polish that unfortunately will get the chop. And why am I saying it's unfortunate? Because it's one of the very few Zoyas that I still have left, and it's a very well-liked one. This is Zoya's Dot, which is another sort of peachy baby pink. And generally a very pretty color. I'm not arguing with that. It does not wear as well as Essie does on my nails, first of all. And probably one of the bigger problems with it for me is that it requires more than 2 coats. Normally, if something requires more than 2 coats and it's not meant to be worn sheer, then it just annoys me. I don't want to be waiting that long for my coats to dry. And here at first I thought, well, maybe it's supposed to be sheer. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be worn. But unfortunately, this is not self-leveling very well. Therefore, if you want to wear it sheer, it'll be patchy. If you want to build it up to full opacity, you'll need 3 coats, maybe more, depending on how thick you make your coats. So although a beautiful color and something that I definitely would love to keep my hands on for sure, in terms of color, in terms of formula, it did not stand up to the rest of my polishes, and therefore I would probably not reach for it. I would probably look at the 2 of them. This is really pretty, and I would love to have this color in a better formula, but I'd probably reach for something like French Affair if I want that super light nail, just because the formula is better. Then we have one of my all-time favorite pinks from Essie, and I've worn the crap out of it. This is actually half gone, and there are not a lot of polishes on my rack that are half gone, so this means I really, really, really love the color, and I will be repurchasing it once it's gone. Luckily, I think it is a part of Essie's regular line, therefore you can get it. It's not a limited edition shade. I've been wearing it for several years, and it's my favorite, and it is probably my favorite spring and summer pink. And this is Madison Ave Hue, which was in one of my most recent project polishes, and I'm sure it will yet again be in a project polish because I just enjoy the color. It has this really invisible little flecks of micro shimmer in it, which don't really come across in the nail, but do give the nail this kind of glowy look, and the shade is super flattering on me. It's a fairly neutral pink, slightly on the cooler side, but definitely not a warm pink at all. So great on toes, great on nails. This isn't like a well-rounded, all over, use wherever you like kind of polish, and I don't see myself not wearing it in the future, and I really don't see myself not repurchasing it once it runs out or dries out. Once I'm back to doing project polish, which I will, most likely in the next couple months, and once I'm back to doing it, this will be in there because it's one of my absolute favorites. Another really good color that I will be keeping is a red, and I really enjoy my reds. As you probably know, I'm wearing one right now, which is not this one actually. It's a different red. But this one is just a classic, basic, mid-tone, all things to all people red. If you want a middle-of-the-road classic red color, this is the one to get. And this is Big Apple Red by OPI. Super classic polish. It's in their regular lineup. It's very beautiful. It's not cool. It's not warm. It's super neutral. This is a red that is going to look good on everyone. There's literally not a skin tone that this will not look good against, because it's so neutral, because there's pretty much there's equal amounts of cool and warm in it, and it's just this Marilyn Monroe red color. So go get you some if you enjoy reds. This is a super classic that absolutely is worth keeping, especially if you enjoy red. It's good on nails, it's good on hands, and it's good on toes. It's just good all over. It's perfect. It's a perfect red. For sure. If I was only allowed to keep a single red polish, that would be this one for sure. Next, we have a polish that I'm not completely sold on, and I'm still kind of contemplating decluttering eventually. Mostly because it's not a color that I would necessarily imagine myself wearing. I was curious about it because it did have a nice textural shimmer to it, not textural in terms of it creating texture, but just gives the polish a little bit more depth, dimension, and makes it really, really pretty. I would probably say, just by looking at the color, that it would not be flattering on my skin tone. It's a sandy, beigey, slightly peachy, light brown. This is China Glaze Skinny Tipping with the shimmer that shifts from pink to orange. So very cool shimmer. Shimmer is the reason I have purchased this color, and I was really interested to see how it would look against my skin tone, and I was honestly not really expecting it and to really love it. But it did actually look quite flattering. It's one of the warmer colors that usually don't work super well on me, but this is a good neutral. Honestly, it's quite basic. It's a warm neutral on me, and it pretty well can be worn whenever. This is a very, very versatile polish, and I certainly didn't expect myself to be keeping it after all of the stuff that I'm trying out, but yes, I will be keeping it. What a pretty little number. I was really pleasantly surprised. Then I have yet another color which I really like and dislike at the same time. It is a Layla nail polish ceramic effect in the color LL23. And this guy is not my jam in terms of the color because it does have this grapey purple base, but it has this unbelievably beautiful flaky shimmer. It shifts from orange to green to yellow. So there's just so much going on in terms of the flakes. The flakes in this look magic. I have a red one that absolutely non-debatably is amazing, and I bought 2 bottles actually because I didn't want to be without it. This purple I wanted to experiment with and try, so I think it's a good purple, but I think the best way to wear it is actually as a topper over a dark purple. And I do have a dark purple to wear it over, which I have tried and I have really liked. So this one I think I'm keeping more as a topper and less so as a standalone polish, but the flake in it is just gorgeous. I can't let it go. One of the oldies but goodies, a polish that I knew I was not going to let go of because I've just worn it for so long, and this is not my first bottle. This takes place of a very, very beautiful neutral. It is kind of similar in a way to the Skinny Tipping by China Glaze that I discussed, but actually it's completely cream, so no shimmer, and it's a little bit more neutral and less warm. So this is the Skinny Tipping, and this is the Eternal Optimist by Essie. So just because this is such a good neutral, and just because this is a neutral that I absolutely have been wearing to death, a reliable pick, always goes with everything, kind of professional nail polish, I'm going to definitely keep my hands on it. The next unfortunate polish that is going to get decluttered is an OPI polish. It is a pretty pink with a pink sheen, and I think it was one of the bridal collections that they released, and it's called Otherwise Engaged. It's a very beautiful color, but yet again, it requires just too many coats, and the effect that it provides on the nail is not worth it for me. Again, it's not self-leveling enough to not be patchy, but and just to be that sheer look, really, really clean sheer look, and it's not pigmented enough to not annoy you, so it annoys you with multiple coats, and in general just left me underwhelmed in terms of color and formula both. Although the formula wore well, just like all OPI formulas do, it just was kind of a pain in the butt to apply multiple layers, at least 3 to 4 layers of this for it to look decent. And then even that, even then the look is not so beautiful that it's worth it. It's more like, oh, well, okay, I guess we're here. I guess I'll wear it for a few days, but I won't wear it again. So Otherwise Engaged is leaving. Then we have a deep purple, and I actually tried to wear these guys together, and honestly I have a purple that is better than this one, so this one is going to be yet again another one that's going to get the chop. This is the Chanel nail polish in 514 Rubashka. Beautiful vampy dark purple. I don't have a problem with the color. I don't even have a problem with the formula so much, but I just have a Deborah Lippmann that I enjoy applying better. It's just an easier application and slightly better wear for me. So this Chanel is getting the boot because the formula is slightly inferior to my Deborah Lippmann one that I actually have on my toenails right now. It's sort of the same feeling as you would get from Linkin Park After Dark by OPI. If you're a nail polish fan, you know that polish, and I've finished one off before in mini and in a big size, but right now I have pretty much a dupe from Deborah Lippmann in that dark vampy purple, and Rubashka is just, this one just doesn't measure up. It's just not as good. The last polish on this nail wheel is one that I will be keeping because it's one of my all-time favorites, and actually it's not being made anymore. Can be worn by itself and built up for a semi-sheer, slightly sparkly micro shimmer look. Can be used as a topper. Very versatile polish, and if you want something very classic and beautiful but with a little wink to it, this is a really good color, and it's OPI Pink Before You Leap. A very, very old collection this came out in. I don't think you can get your hands on it very easily anymore, and as you can see, I've used up almost half of the bottle at this point, so I really, really enjoy it. I will be finishing it up. It'll probably end up in one of my project polishes once I complete my declutter process. So I am really looking forward to continuing to wear it until it's completely out. I don't have anything quite like it on my polish rack. If I see something similar, I will be very, very happy to purchase it. But it's kind of like a one-of-a-kind little shimmery, beautiful, sheer goddess in my nail wardrobe. So there's no way I'm letting go of it. I've enjoyed it for years, and I actually am kind of halfway through it already. So this time around, I am keeping 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 polishes are being capped. So the number of the decluttered polishes is dwindling. It was much more impressive in previous episodes. This time I'm decluttering 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just 6. So only half of the ones that I'm keeping, and it's going to get tougher because I am starting to hit the polishes that I am sure about, so I kind of put them on the back burner for testing because I already knew I liked them. So it is going to be a bit of a different story. It's going to be less decluttering. In previous declutters I've gotten rid of about half or so, and this time around I think it's just better polishes. I'm hitting the stuff that I like, so therefore I'm going to be keeping more of it. So far I've done 3 of these nail wheels, and all the dotted ones are the ones that I'm actually getting rid of, and all the non-dotted ones are the ones that I'm actually keeping. So let's see what our totals look like these days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. So 32 polishes so far I have kept out of all the stuff that I tried. 32 are ones that are staying. Now let's count up the rejects.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25.
And 25 polishes I'm decluttering. So it's a pretty good spread right now, but I do assume that going forward it's probably going to get bigger and bigger, the gap between the stuff that I'm keeping and the stuff that I'm decluttering, because all the very questionable choices have already been tested because I was curious to see how they would wear. So right now I'm quite happy with how things are going with my polish declutter, and I will continue to update you. I don't have very much left. I think maybe 2 more nail wheels and we're going to be done, and that's going to be the end of it. And most of the polishes that I have left to try are fall polishes, so probably you won't see an update for another couple of months because I won't be wearing those fall colors in the next month and a half, 2 months. And then once I hit them and start wearing them in the fall, that's when I'll update you. They're mostly vampy or darker colors, so certainly I'm not kind of in the mood to do those kinds of colors right now. So far we have a winter wheel, which is sort of muted and dark. Then we have winter to spring, which has some transitional colors, light colors, shimmers, and some darker colors. And then we have the infamous current one that I just finished off, which was spring summer, which you can obviously see the color story is a little bit different. So I will be seeing you soon with an update, and I will tell you about the rest of the picks. I think I'll try to just have one more update. Might be 1 or 2 more updates. I might update you in the end of the summer once, and then in the fall to complete this project. And then that will be done, and I will just start using and loving my polishes. And we're just going to continue with my normal project polishes, which I will have on an ongoing basis. I took a year off just to sort through my pile of polishes and to see what I like and what I don't. But now that it will be over soon, I'll get through the rest of them, I will be sure and I will know which ones I want to keep, and then there won't be this annoyance for me looking at a whole bunch of polishes that I'm not really wearing very much. So that's it for today. Are you finishing up your polishes, and did you declutter any recently? If so, how often do you go through your polishes and declutter them? I'm always curious to know. That's it for today. See you guys later. Stay safe. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of others if you can, and have a good day. Bye-bye.